Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of my Frontier City Village Building Roleplay Creative World video series. This will be episode 2, and so episode 1 took a good chunk of the episode to find a location. We found one. I built our nice little starter homestead house. Got some heartburn. Oof. Okay. But we got to do a little, the homestead family. They got to the Bree clan. They got to do some, landscaping and terraforming and taming the wilderness before the rest of the family can move into their homes. And so that's what I'm going to work on today. Do a little taming the wilderness, but we also got to finish setting up our homestead because we have a house. Great. But how are we going to survive? Well, not too much. Off of the land if we don't get ourselves prepared. So the first thing we're going to need to do is clear out some of these trees so that we can get ready for, setting up our crops and animals and whatnot. Alright, this is good. Alright. I'll worry about those trees later. This is good enough for a, like I said, it's a nice, quiet, little, peaceful homestead. Give it a little more, we'll expand it out this way a little bit. We'll do some more expanding later. Don't need to worry too much about that right now. Just want to give me some room to work, give us, my family and whatnots in the game, our family that we're following, some room to work with. That should be good enough. Let's just cut some of this out. Get it out of the way. We'll do some more expanding later. Just gotta give us a little room to set up our farms. Well, not really a farm, more as a garden space, I guess. But we need a garden. We're gonna need some gardens in order to be able to live off the land. The other members of the family, they're sleeping in their covered wagons. So what they're doing is they're off in the, they wake up in the morning. They eat a little couple of eggs for breakfast that they caught. They just gathered any food that they gathered the day before, and so they're off in the wilderness role playing. This is a role play series. They're off in the wilderness just gathering resources, hunting, looking for wool, cotton, etc. Okay, so this is still, I gotta make this a little bit, I gotta get rid of this tree. I gotta make this a little bit wider. It's just, I'm gonna go this way. I just need to make it a little bit wider. Gotta get rid of this tree. It's getting in the way. There we go. I just gotta make this a little bit wider so we have room to work with. This tall grass and these leaf litter thingies get in the way and slow me down, but it's okay. So we gotta start off very basic home. Frontier home, wilderness, not a lot going on. Let's just let's just level this out so we can start planting our crops. I'm going to try to go as quick as I can in these builds, paying attention to detail, but I'll do as little or as much as I can in an hour. Alright, this is good. This is plenty. Let's just scoop all this stuff up. It doesn't matter because it just goes into my inventory, but since we're playing in creative mode, we won't even notice. Okay, so we've got to build our garden. I think, does the house look... Oh, we need a window. Well, do we need a window? What we need is... We need this, And then we need a spruce fence, which I'll put here. And then we need to open this up. And then we need a window-like thing here. There we go. And then, not next to the kids' beds. That's not good. Not too close to the kids' bed. So we'll put one here. And then we do need some kind of ventilation for the fire. Good enough. We'll fix the outside later. And then, alright, let's get outside. I gotta build... God, I can't get through the door. There we go. Alright, we're gonna need... Let's just clear my inventory. Because I don't need any of this right now. Okay. So we need to plant some crops. Better have grass in my inventory. But, didn't mean that. Jesus. God damn it. Did not want that. I gotta pay attention to what the fuck I'm doing sometimes. Okay. That way I can replant grass as needed. Okay, now to get started, we're gonna need a little garden area. Shit. The garden area should be in the backyard, but we'll also put it on the side here. So what we need is a fence. Actually, we can just do a regular open garden. So what we need is a hoe. Where's the hoe? We'll just make a wooden hoe. And then we need a bucket to place water. So we need a water bucket. And then we need seeds, which should be here. We're going to start with wheat and then potatoes, which potatoes should be under crops. And then we'll just start with that. So we're going to have wheat and potatoes. So we're going to start... And then for this, we're just going to chop. And then plant some wheat. And I actually want to make sure that I have the hoe next to the seeds and not the water bucket so I don't actually fuck this up. Because if I accidentally fuck it up, spill the water bucket and then all my seeds and crops wash away. So we don't want that. I've had that happen to me before. Alright, so we're just going to have a nice little wheat garden on the side of the house here, just so we have food. And then we are going to need to put a water bucket there, I guess. We'll add more as needed if we need to, but not necessarily messing up the aesthetic. We're going for realism, but just so that the crops will grow. We don't have to wait 3 years for them to grow. And so I might want to put another water bucket there. And I guess we might want to put another water bucket here. And now we can just plant our wheat seeds. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boy, this is taking a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it's okay, we're getting there. And then we're going to use the magic dust. To make this look like wheat. And then we'll have a nice little wheat garden out front. It'll look nice. Whoops, didn't really mean to do that. Gotta be careful. So we got a nice little wheat farm, looks like. Pretty good. Nice little wheat farm that we can grow some crops. We can live off a little bit. And then we need to come over this way, and I have to very carefully not fuck this up. So we'll have, because a nice little homestead. Whoops. We're going to need some potatoes. But we need a barrier between the wheat and the potatoes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put... well, I didn't want to do that, but whatever. We're just going to put a little cobblestone slab in between. And then we should be able to place that there, and it should be good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this one. And then we'll do that. And then we'll come over this way. And we'll come da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then we're going to do the same thing on the outside here, just because we will have more crops later. But this will be our potato garden. And I think that's big enough. We don't need a ton of potatoes. But we do need potatoes, because they're full of carbs and make good companions to meat, you know. Meat and potatoes, as they say. Potato stew, baked potato, mashed potatoes, you know. They're good food, good crop to have. Okay, we gotta fix that. So to do that, we'll just... And now we plant the potatoes. And now we'll use the magic dust to turn them into potato crops. Alright. Nice little potato farm, or garden, wheat garden. And then I think we're just gonna go ahead and I might be able to do this. There we go. That didn't do what I wanted because I was on the wrong thing. I wanted this one. There. Yes, that's what I wanted. That one. That's fine. I don't, yeah. And then we'll come over here and we'll do the same thing. Cover these up. There we go. Not bad. Okay. But we also need, because we're from the old country, right? We also need another crop. We gotta come over here. We gotta get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. We need to keep that. And then we have to do... And this one, we don't really need to plant. We can just do the crop. We should be able to just do the crop. I mean, it would be more... Yeah, it would be more realistic if we planted it, I guess. This one's a little trickier, though, so... Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come over here, and we're going to go... This one's a little trickier, because we want the pumpkins, so we need to plant the seeds. And then give them that. They are going to need water as well, so what we're going to do is we're going to go... No! No! I can't fucking stop it! God damn it! Shit. That almost became a disaster. So this first homestead is going to take a few minutes to set up, but not too much longer. And we are going to pick up the pace with some of the future builds once the population increases and we get the foundation laid, you know, and then things start going better. But we're not in a great big hurry today. It'd be better if I did it from above, because then I can guarantee I'm on the hitbox. Okay, I definitely don't want that. Okay, and then we'll just do a little... That should be good. Perfect. Now we're also going to need some animals. And we're not fully set up for that yet. The family's still out gathering materials and, you know, hunting for the animals to bring home. So we're going to need... Because we want this to be a realistic, believable homestead. I got to stop saying realistic. We definitely don't need all this tall grass. Although we will be planting bone mealing and growing grass later. We got to clear this out just so we have an area to build. Okay. So we have the... okay. So we don't need the crops anymore. We're done with crops. We need to keep the grass on us at all times. We're going to need a chicken coop. And the chicken coop should be close to the house. Not next to the house, but close to the house. So we're going to need an oak fence. We're going to need oak slab. We're going to need an oak fence gate. We're going to need some of, where to go? This. And then we're going to need, this I will have to search for because it's just going to take me forever if I don't. We need chicken spawn egg. And then we do need, do we want to use chains? I think we do want to use chains. So let's just, was the chains in here? I don't remember. Do we want to use chains or do we want to use, we'll just use iron bars, I guess. But we'll use copper bars. Sure. Now this is not enough. Well, it's a good start, but we still need a good chicken coop. So we're also going to need, all right, where do I want to put this? We're also going to need, all right, let's just start it. Okay. So we got to have a little room here, so we'll go here. Wrong one. Wrong one, but that's okay. It's a good placeholder. Okay. But I don't want to build against the grass. So I put that there, but I want to do this. Okay. So we're going to go about, that should be big enough for a chicken coop. So we're going to go da-da-da-da-da-da. And then we'll put a fence here. Or I mean gate. And then we'll put a gate here. Okay. And then for this, I don't know how to do this. Because I feel like, well, we'll just do it this way. I should have used planks. Let's just use planks. It'll be faster than placing a whole bunch of slabs twice. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then we need, no. Perfect. I don't know if this is going to be big enough, but we'll see. Well, we can't put it there because we have the gate. That's okay. That's good. Chickens can still get out of that, though. So we have a problem. So we're going to have to make it out of a door instead. Which, I'm fine with that. Just put... Whoops, that's... I'm not fine with that. God damn it, I can't get in the hole. Get in the whole goddamn hole! Jesus. Alright. That does not look good at all, actually. I don't like that. But it's better than... Well, I can fix it, but for now, that's fine. Okay, so we got the chicken coop, but we're not done yet. Because we need... For the chickens to lay their eggs on, they need these little nests. And then they're going to need... We'll do copper lanterns, I guess. Shouldn't need these. We're going to have to put lanterns here so that the chickens can, you know, hatch their eggs. And then this is the part where we're just going to have to get a bunch of chickens that actually look like ducks, but they're really chickens. But they're going to get out. I knew that was going to happen, but it's okay. I don't fucking care. Those ones can run around in the wild. And, oh, I forgot we had this, so we'll just... Perfect. We got a chicken coop. I'm not worried about the ones running loose. They'll, whatever. We'll take care of that later. I do not like this new chicken baby. No, I don't like this at all. I like the old chicken texture or whatever it was. I feel like I need to do something about that door. There. We got a chicken coop. Not a bad little farmstead to get started. Down. There we go. Not every house is going to be this detailed, and not every building is going to be this detailed, just for future reference. For roleplay purposes, you know, we'll speed up the process once we have more, air quotes, population, once the community starts to grow. Now, there's 5 families in the Bree clan, like I said, houses, well, 6 families. 5, you know, families, mom, dad, and then 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, each family, and then grandma and grandpa. Now, Grandma and Grandpa are going to get a special house. Obviously. Because they're Grandma and Grandpa. We just got to expand this out just a little bit. Because now we got to get some more animals. And, well, we got the chickens. That's good. But what comes next? Pigs. Got to have pigs. Can't have much of a homestead without pigs. So now we got to build a pig pen. Oh, we missed a chick. There's another one outside. Are they getting out somehow? Are they escaping? Did I not design this very securely? Do I need to fix this somehow? I'll keep an eye on them. It looks like they can't get out, but I may have missed a bunch. That's okay. It looks like they can't get out, but I don't know if I should be worried or not. Whatever. It's okay. It's fine for now, but now we got to build a pig pen. So we got to get rid of the stuff we don't need. So for a pig pen, we are going to continue to use oak. We can use the fence with the pig pen, but we don't need this stuff because the pigs aren't going to escape. But we're going to also need we're going to need a water bucket, and we're going to need some mud, but I'm not sure where you find mud in this game. There it is, mud. Okay. And then I'll just go ahead and flatten this real quick. Okay, so now we're going to need a pig pen. And we're also going to need pig. Pig spawn egg, piglin. No, we just want pig. Wait, oh, no, we just want pig. We don't want all that other shit. Okay, so we're going to need to make an area. Okay, so how? 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll put it here. So this is just okay. So I want to see what the mud block looks like. Alright, not great, but whatever. And now we're settling here, but we're like, I guess, an hour by horse to the next, an imaginary air quotes, town. So we're about an hour by horse from town, we'll say. So I don't know what that distance is, maybe 60 miles or something like that. So, you know, far enough that we're not going to bleed over and then get too many people coming over from town, but also close enough that... Wait, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so we need to do this. This will be the mud that the pigs live in. Okay. But here, somewhere about here, we're going to go duh, 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 duh. And then we're going to go duh, 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 duh. And we're going to come down and go duh. Is that right? I think so. And now we're just gonna put some water in here. But we still need... Gotta come back one more. Okay, so now we gotta build the fence to keep the critters contained. And then we'll just put a gate here. We don't need to worry about anything else. Okay, and then that should be it. Now we, oh wait, we gotta put water here. And now we just need a ton of pigs. Plenty of pigs. That's a good little homestead, and we can sell excess pork in town and feed the family. And then, yeah. Nice little homestead. We're getting started. Got a lot of work to do still, but this is only the beginning. I've got to clear out some more trees. Just because they're in the way. Alright, looking good, but we got to do more. Those will just clear out on their own. I just got to finish chopping down the wood. We'll clear out the rest later. Okay. This one's in the way, too. A nice little homestead. Now we gotta kind of make it a home. And so to do that, let's get rid of the stuff we don't need. And then we just need... We're going to need flower pot. And then I guess we'll just have a nice little chiseled bookshelf. And then what are we going to use for flowers? We need flowers. I guess we'll do blue orchids. Sure, why not? And then for this, we're just going to come in here. And we're going to place this... 1, 2, 3. There, nice little house. And we'll do another one right here. 1, 2, 3. Nice little frontier house. Oh, we do need like a kitchen table. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay, we'll come back to that. And then now, let's get rid of this. We don't need those. We're gonna need a oak tree in the yard. Right around, let me look. Where do we want to put the oak tree? I guess the oak tree can go right here. So we'll leave this stuff as it is. That's fine. This is fine. That's fine. So for oak tree, we need to go to saplings, and we just need an oak tree. And then we need bone meal, but we want a big oak tree. So what we're going to do is we're just going to redo this a few times until we get the tree we want. Which wasn't this one, so we'll just chop it down. And then we'll try again. Little bigger. Not really. Yeah, I know, we could just build our own goddamn trees, but I don't do that. You know what we could do? Is we could just do this. We could do a dark oak tree, I guess. I think that's big enough. That's a good family oak tree. The kids can play on, build a, a porch swing or whatever. That's a good oak tree. I like that. That's a good oak tree. And then we're going to need a clothesline for doing laundry. So for that, we're just going to need... oak fence. And then I don't remember where chains are, so we're just going to have to search for chains. And then we're going to use iron chain for this. And then I don't remember where banners are, so we're just going to go banners, I guess. And then for this, we'll just grab, like, a couple of different colored banners. And then we're going to put it right here. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go... No, 4 wasn't enough. Yeah, no, that was enough. I think so. We don't want to make it too tall, because then can't use it. And then to make it look like we got clothes hanging on the clothesline, I guess we'll just do this. There, we got a nice little clothesline. Nice little homestead. It's not nowhere's near, air quotes, city, village, town, anything of the sort yet. But we're just getting started. Just getting started. Alright, let's just chop down some trees as we go. Now, I am going to need to expand, but also we can go down. We don't need to keep everything level. So we can go down a level. But I do want to keep the homestead at the same level. And because we are going to need one more thing to make this a full homestead where we can survive. I don't really know how far I need to go. Probably at least to that. So let's just do this. There we go. But there's other families. They gotta build their homesteads too. But they're all doing something different. Every family wants to do something different. So I'm just gonna chop down a few trees. And they're not all gonna build right next to each other either. They are kind of spreading out a little bit. Alright, now we can get rid of all the stuff we don't need. So we can do the next phase, which is just take a peek at the homestead and see if there's anything else. Okay, we got wheat, we got potatoes, we got pumpkins, we got chickens, we got pigs. I don't know if we're gonna need. We are gonna need a horse. We're gonna need a horse we're gonna need a horse. The family's got to have a horse. So we are going to need a horse. So we're going to need horse, spawn egg. We're going to need not armor, but we are going to need a saddle. We're going to need a saddle. Get up there. Okay. And then I think a lead should be useful, but I think it's in this one. There it is, lead. And then what we're going to need is a fence post to tie it to. So we're going to need 2 horses because, you know, Mama needs a horse, Papa needs a horse. Why can't I place the saddle? Do I have to take it off the lead to place the saddle? Do I have to tame it first? Do I have to take it off the lead? I don't know how this works. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now we got a couple of horses. Good. A couple of family horses. Looks like a nice little homestead. But we need to do something else. This is just for, you know, we're going to go plop. We're just going to go plant a few garden, or a few, you know, just some grass, some flowers. There we go. Alright, Homestead 1 is good to go. Gotta fix this real quick because that looks like shit. There we go. Alright, Homestead 1, good to go. Now we gotta do Homestead 2. Now we got a beach. Beach is useful. We will expand the beach later, probably. But, where's the second family going to build? Well, that's a nice little homestead, but we got to make it, you know, we got to be, you know, realistic, or believable. So, the second family is going to come over this way. This is going to take some, well, hold on. No, I want it to be right here. This is where the second family is going to go. So this is going to take some work, which we'll have to do in the next video.